Next up, at UFC Tampa, we have the very interesting main event of the evening. We have Colby Covington stepping up on kind of short notice, taking on Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley was already on this card. He was supposed to fight Ian Gary. They did some shuffling. And Colby Covington, out of absolute nowhere, he wasn't rumored to fight anybody. He wasn't booked anywhere. Just whoop, popped up. Went from fighting in a main event on a pay-per-view for a fight night main event. But he is in Florida. I'm sure they paid him handsomely, and I'm sure he thinks he can win this fight. So we have Colby Covington at 17-4, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that title loss to Leon Edwards, taking on Joaquin Buckley, 20-6, 5-0 in his last 5, looking for his first main event win and looking pretty good at his new weight class. The last version of Colby Covington, the one that fought Leon Edwards, and the version before that are two completely different human beings. So the game that Jacob, myself, and everybody else has to play this week is, which Colby Covington are we going to get? Is the version that fought Leon, is that him now? Is that him? He moved to a new gym. His skills fell off. He's surrounded by yes men. And he's just old and slow now. Is that Colby? Or is it true? Oh, he had a foot injury and it was just a weird training camp. He's the guy that fought Kamaru Usman for the belt. That's the Colby. And that's a game we have to play. If it is the original version of Colby Covington, the one that was in every single fight of his except the Leon fight, then we get a guy who's going to come forward with insane volume, set an incredible pace, never breathe heavy, and just work his ass off bell to bell. If we get the last version, we're going to get a guy that does nothing for 4 rounds and finally shoots a takedown in the 5th. Hesitant, slow, afraid to commit to anything. And he's taking on Joaquin Buckley, welterweight Joaquin Buckley. Welterweight Joaquin Buckley has looked absolutely fantastic. He's a powerful striker, plenty of movement. He's got good forward pressure. He cuts angles really, really well, and he doesn't headhunt as much as he used to. So that has freed him up to make things happen. He's looked absolutely incredible at his new weight class. He just beat Wonderboy in a fight that he was losing. Was having trouble finding the range, struggling working in and out, but he stuck with it. He didn't quit on himself. He kept coming forward. He kept bombing away and ultimately found that spot. This fight is very hard to break down because of the inconsistencies with Colby. And this sport, more than any other sport I have ever seen.
Colby. It's Colby.
Nah, the L's silent. Colby Covington. Colby Covington. Colby is hard to break down here because you just don't know which version you're going to get. And this is the most what have you done for me lately sport that exists. You come off one bad performance and you're a washed up loser. If you look great, you're the next big thing. And so it's very hard to wade through what's bullshit because he had a bad performance versus what is, he's 36 years old, and he's not at a very good gym right now, so it is what it is, and that's what's tricky. I personally am going to pick Joaquin Buckley. I think I am going to avoid this fight, though. I don't think I'm going to bet on this fight. I think Buckley has looked great. I've been a huge advocate of his at welterweight, and I think he can get this done as well, but if Colby wants to come forward, shoot a million takedowns, stay in Joaquin's face, avoid any power because he's closed that distance and he's in the pocket, he, of course, could sneak out a win here. I'm looking forward to this fight. I think it's a good fight. I do think it's a bit of a changing of the guard, and Colby at 36, not an American top team anymore, just dealing with the pressure of being one of the most hated guys in the sport. I think that's all weighing on him. I think he's just a shell of himself now at this point, and Joaquin's going to get it done, but I can't put my money anywhere near that. What do you think, Jakey boy? Whoops.
Yeah, I've been a very vocal Buckley hater. Not as a person, right? When I say I hate a fighter, it's usually their style, or I think they're kind of overrated. And Buckley's kind of reckless style was always kind of just like, I just didn't love it for longevity. Like if I'm picking a fighter, I want them to be tactical, I want them to be whatever. And his wild style just kind of keeps fucking paying off. And I said after that Wonderboy fight, I'm never going to doubt this guy again. Flip to Colby. I was Colby's biggest fan. I had him as my lock of the week against Leon Edwards because I knew who Leon was, and we saw it with Bilal. And I'm looking at Colby like, dude, that's all you had to do. You just have to pressure this guy. What do you do? Why were you not pressuring this guy? Oh, my foot. I hurt my foot in the first round. The first kick, my foot. That would make sense if the rest of the fight went the way the rest of the fight was. But what happened in the fucking 5th round? You got the takedown and you got all the control. So why the fuck weren't you doing that in the 1st round? Oh, my foot. Well, guess what? You did it in the fucking 5th round, asshole. Why the fuck couldn't you man up? You want to talk about you're this big bad competitor and you're Chaos Covington running people against the fence and taking them down and taking them down there and taking them down. Oh, my foot hurts. And then you become a fucking pussy and freeze in front of everybody? I'm not trusting anybody that acts like that. And then you act like you win the fight. Oh, you play the fucking, that fucking fake personality you have is starting to ooze into your real personality, and you have lost who you were, a real fucking competitor, and you're gonna get fucking smoked, knocked out, and retired by Joaquin Buckley in this fucking fight.
All right, Jacob, very passionate breakdown. I agree with that frustration watching the Kobe fight when he fought Leon because it was there. There's nothing worse. That was
the easy. He's dreamed of being the UFC champion.
And
I said he is going to do nothing. He will make this as boring as possible to win. All he wants to do is win that fucking belt. And you saw all you have to do with Leon is just fucking pressure the guy against the fence, drag him to the ground. I could not believe he didn't win that fight. That's why I'm so high on Bilal, because I was like, well, fucking Bilal. I know Bilal will do it.
Yeah, he'll stick to a game plan. Well, and what is funny is he did it. Like, he did it in the 5th round. Where was that? Where was that before?
Oh, so my foot. Oh, well.
That foot didn't hurt in the 5th. But dude, anybody leaning on the foot argument, I've seen a lot of that stuff. This is a man whose jaw was broken against Kamaru Usman. His jaw was broken.
I don't think it was actually broken.
Didn't they have x-rays of a broken jaw?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think it was actually broken. That was like,
well, my memory is telling me his jaw was broken and he didn't quit. He continued to fight.
He literally froze up in the moment. I'm sure he did hurt his foot, and then he snapped the kick. He heard it, and he thought, "Oh shit!" and he fucking froze.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. We are both on the Joaquin Buckley side. Do you have any bets on this?
Pace.
Do you have any Buckley bets?
Doesn't like the pace. Doesn't like the pace.
Are you betting on this fight?
That's a Jordan, who by the way, happy birthday. Can we get happy birthday, Jordan? My friend that goes to Vegas with me all the time to all these fights and stuff. You guys have seen him in vlogs and stuff before. That's my boy. Happy birthday, Jordan, in the fucking chat. But one of the funniest parts as I'm watching clips back as I'm making vlogs and stuff was when we were at the Apex. Obviously, you can hear whatever we're saying in the front row. He was doing the hot dog thing or whatever. But he said it like kind of under his breath to a fight, but you can still hear it. And he just doubles down. So he's watching the fight. The fight's going on and nobody's saying anything. He goes, doesn't like the pace. Doesn't like the pace. And it was just so funny, the change in levels, because it's so quiet in there. You could hear him the first time. Like everyone can hear the first. He's like, doesn't like the pace. Doesn't like the pace.
Just insisted on getting that out there.
So funny.
You haven't answered my question. Do you have any bets on this fight?
Yeah, I bet Buckley as soon as the fight was announced and the odds dropped.
There you go. If you want to check out the rest of his bets and mine, including the tools and the artificial intelligence, you can do so now. It's $10 a freaking month. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top, and maybe you can achieve results like these.